How's it going, everyone? It is me, and I am sitting around some nature, filming myself because I want to talk about a thing. But it's a lovely day. I just wanted to get that out of the way. It's a lovely day. It's nice. And if you haven't touched grass already, I'd highly recommend you do. So I wanted to talk about ADHD, and I know everyone has ADHD. It's the next hip thing, or it has been the hip thing for a while. I don't know. I'm out of the loop on these things. Almost 28 years old, so I'm getting old, and I forget about all these, forget what's in the current, in the mainstream nowadays. But ADHD, yes. Look at these geese. Can you see them? Oh yeah. Speaking of ADHD, we've derailed a few times. I'm gonna try to stick on point. When I was in second grade, I was quite the troublemaker, and my second grade teacher told my mom during a parent-teacher interview that I need amphetamines or like ADHD medication. Point blank, she just told my mom that because I was apparently out of control, and my mom, in response to that, basically, like, didn't insult her, but it was as close as you can get to an insult without actually, like, saying the insult to my second grade teacher. My mom did not believe that was that you should medicate a 7-year-old, which intuitively, is probably a good a good instinct to have. But growing up, I've never paid really much attention. I've pretty much been fairly scatterbrained a lot of the time. My interests have ranged from like making music to videos to like writing books. I mean, I did a lot of things. But you can say anybody's done a lot of things. But I felt the way I did these things were pretty scatterbrained and pretty all over the place a lot of the time. That's not to say that I didn't finish projects. I was fairly good at finishing projects. But generally I found that getting into something very deeply happened at really random moments, and would happen with things that you wouldn't even think that you would get really into. So yeah. Yeah. And why am I making this? So why am I making this? So right now, I'm making this because I have felt a lot of push and pull between a lot of things I'm doing. So between music and YouTube videos, and I was also running a music community, a music I guess community is the best word, or organization. Yes, that's the word. That we would throw events. I would have that. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of interest, and then at the same time, I have my day job, which is coding, for 8 hours a day. So already there's a lot of things going on, and I just spotted my my ex neighbor smoking weed, and he's just looking at me from like 10 meters away. Let's see if we can get him on camera, but very discreetly. And I think that yeah, it's fine. We don't see him. Anyways, what is the okay? I've always felt fairly scatterbrained. Whenever I talk, I stop and start very, very frequently. Like I can't. It feels like a lot of the time when people without ADHD, whenever they talk, they have like a fleshed out thesis in their conversation from the get go. They get in there. They know exactly what the central point that they're trying to talk, and they know exactly how to drill down into that so that you understand. And I find a lot of the time, for me, it is difficult to do that, and it's difficult to stay on track. And maybe it's a matter of practice to do that. But a lot of the time, I just forget what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm just talking, and I just forget the central point of what I'm trying to say. So I have to always like remind myself what it is, very consciously, and I have to always like consciously put like checkpoints in my conversation. Be like, okay, where was I? Now where am I now? Right? Like even in this conversation I'm talking about right now, I am rambling, but I know the ultimate theme is ADHD. But now I'm forgetting, like what even was the point of like getting into this rabbit hole that I'm in right now. And now I remember. Now the whole point is that I'm trying to make a comparison to a person that can actually have a good structure when they're talking. They're able to communicate their ideas effectively without excess, and just kind of succinctly point out their ideas. Yeah, and I find it difficult to do that personally. I tried taking ADHD medications a few times in my life. I would have people that had them, and they gave them to me, and I tried them because I was like, okay, well maybe this will help me. And I've never taken like a crazy amount. Like whenever I did take them, it was like a little amount. But every time I would take them, I would feel like my thoughts finally connected, if that makes sense. So if I'm talking, I'm not like stopping and starting and reversing and going left and then right. It feels like whenever I'm on them, I can go from start to finish in like, with a punch. I can make that point go effectively. So I don't know. Maybe a second grade teacher was right. Maybe that's maybe ADHD medication can be effective and is important. Here's the thing about ADHD. I feel like ADHD is actually kind of fun. Like I like existing like this a lot of the time because it's very exploratory. You're able to just get into things like kind of easily, and you're able to diversify what you do all the time. Like, I was able to, put out music, and I was able to put out videos and run a music collective while also maintaining a relationship, while also working a full-time job, while doing a lot of other things at the same time, right? And like for a lot of people, that's like overwhelming. Like that's just a lot. But for me, it was a lot of like you could do that. I could do that, but I never really got super into any of those things. Like I would do them just enough, right? Like I would put out the song, I would work on music for like every now and then, and also I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on. But for music, I would like work on them for. Sometimes I would work on a song for like 10 minutes per session once a week, and then release a song after like 2 years. Like that was the kind of thing. And I have just like a lot of those kind of songs. And then same thing with videos. Like for videos, I would just, I would try to maintain. I have some ideas, but a lot of the time, like I have like scripts written down, and I'm trying to like fulfill a lot of them all at once. It doesn't happen though, so I just force myself to do like one video at a time, because practically like because I force myself to post videos. That's kind of the thing. I have a schedule where every 2 weeks I post a video, no matter what, and I find that does help. But yeah, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that with ADHD, I find it's very hard to get into anything very deeply, and when you do, it can happen in very random moments. Like, I started building this app that I've actually built to completion, which is crazy, called Sound Paste and Paste Kit. If you guys follow me on my Cloy channel, you guys probably heard by that by now. But it's like an app that allows you to copy paste sound, and I thought this idea was a really good idea, which is why I got really into it. But I never thought I would get that into it to the point where I would literally spend like 12 hours a day, like 10 hours a day, like including work, just like working on that. I guess not 12 hours a day, I guess that's excessive. But I would work from 9 to 5, and then I would spend most of that time after work just doing my app, just working on my app. And it was a very intense time, but it was also extremely rewarding, and I was very hyper fixated to the point where when I would work on it for like 2 weeks straight, and I would go outside with like a friend, 30 minutes in, I would be like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting time talking to people when I could be working on this app? And sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes of things that you think you genuinely like love even more, like I think I prefer music and videos even more. I feel a sense of stagnation or friction of some sort that I can't really describe. And it's just hard for me to get into it, even though I think personally it brings me more meaning, right? All this to say, there's a lot of rambling going on around here, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know my experiences with ADHD, how I perceive ADHD, how I interact with ADHD, my thoughts about it going forward. And so there's a mosquito, and I regularly think about medicating myself on ADHD meds, and I might try it out one day. Might try it out. We'll see. Because it would be nice to really hone in on something that I find meaningful without getting sidetracked by something else that you find less meaningful. Yeah. Because I personally want to make more videos. I want to make more long form content and art, but sometimes it's just difficult. I find it's difficult to stick on script, and I think, I don't know, I like what I'm doing right now. I think this is cool, and I might make more of these. I like these maxims, musings thing. You know, it's nice being like authentic, and just kind of rambling. So yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I don't think so. I think that's it. But cool. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.